I'm gonna show you something beautiful.
Hello everybody and welcome to another movie review vlog, and today I'm taking a look at Avengers 2 Age of Ultron, which, if you ask me, was a little bit less of a Age of Ultron, but more of a Week of Ultron, if you ask me, because it didn't last very long to begin with this supervillain and his so-called empire. Alright, that was a stupid opening, but you get what I'm getting at. So anyways, Avengers Age of Ultron, which is pretty much its own tale in and of its own, where Tony Stark believes that the Avengers can't be around forever to protect the world from various dangers. So at the same time, him and Bruce Banner decided to create a cybernetic system for the world peace called Ultron. But of course, like any other comic book, fantasy, or sci-fi movie, the robot takes control, develops his own sense of meaning and consciousness, and decides to destroy humanity himself. So I found Ultron to be a very good staple when it came to being a supervillain, because he's always like he was like what Skynet was before there was a Skynet for the Terminator. He was ruthless, he was calculating, emotionless, even though he did show plenty of emotion in this movie for a robot. But at the same time, he was also voiced by James Spader, and James Spader does a fantastic job voicing the character as an antagonist, especially playing out the role as a robotic villain himself. There were times where he did, like I said before, the thing about Ultron was that he never really acted out on emotions or was really acted frustrated, but in this movie he was frustrated, but he was also hell-bent on destroying his creator. In the comic books, it was Hank Pym who created Ultron, but for movie purposes, since they couldn't, and Ant-Man couldn't come out just yet, they decided to make him be created by Tony Stark, and every time people reference Tony Stark, he gets so frustrated, he attacks just people unnoticed. But apart from him, there's also a few more characters. There's Vision in here as well, who does a fantastic job as Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany does a very fantastic job as Vision. And we get the characters Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, which, if you ask me, they were a little bit vague with their origin stories in this movie, and I was a little frustrated, but at the same time, it makes a little sense, because at that time, there was this thing between Marvel and Fox Studios where they couldn't quite acquire the rights to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, but at the same time they could, because these characters were mutants, and the majority of their comic book careers were Avengers. But so they just kind of were vague about it. And I did like those characters for the most part, especially the not Olsen twin who played Scarlet Witch, and she does a very fantastic job as a first-time superhero who has a lot of emotional control, which plays out pretty well with the characters. As for everyone else in the movie, they do a great job, and as we see in this one, they did a lot spectacular as a team as well, being more unified, working as a group, making combos and combinations, taking down the villains, whether it be aimless evil robots or Hydra or someone else along those lines. Now, as for the flaws, the movie's good, but it's not nearly as spectacular as the very first Avengers movie. For you see, they had a few more characters they had to work around, which it does work for the most part. But at the same time, there were things that complicated things where they were kind of shoehorning a few more references in here just to get the point across that this is an expanded universe, and it felt a little crowbarred in. But at the same time, there was also a few more things that were going on, which kind of made everything muddled the waters a little bit for plot conveniences, and at the same time, there was a lot of strange stuff going on, which led to absolutely dead ends here and there. Especially the scene where Thor has to go to this cave with his scientist friend in order to get shirtless and have a vision somewhere, and it pretty much was absolutely nothing other than him helping them create vision or something like that. And I was just like, what was the point of that exactly? Going in the cave? Anywho, other than that, a lot of the other characters were good, but they didn't do that much for the most part, especially like Scarlett Johansson's character as Black Widow. But we also get a lot more surprising stuff developed on Hawkeye's side story, which I did enjoy that one, and it was also quite surprising. Other than that, I would have to say that this is actually this is a good movie, and they have a lot of great writing. What I'm trying to get at is that there was so much in here that they were trying to cram in. But at the same time, most of it worked, most of it didn't, but it was mostly just a way of just crumbling things all together, just so they can try to get things going and make things stick. As for the production value of it and the CGI work and everything else, I was pretty excited for it. It was really good. Most of it kind of felt lazy at times, especially with the robot minions and stuff like that. But, you know, you have to work with what you got. And with that said, I would have to give this movie a 3 out of 5 stars. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I got one more review to go. Hopefully by then I will probably get my I'll be back at my mini studio just in time for Avengers Infinity War. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys like what you see, feel free to like, subscribe, share, and all that other fun junk. But if you guys have anything to comment about the movie itself, or if I'm right or wrong, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys want to support me financially, hit me up on Patreon for the $1 a month club, where any of all requests for future movie reviews that you want me to review, I will take. And with that said, I will see you all next time.